afternoon, welcome to the Amy Lane Show, and today we bring you a breaking story that is still unfolding in Cuba. 2 years ago, leader of Cuba, General Fulgencio Batista, whom the U.S. backed, was overthrown by Fidel Castro. Since then, he has taken over U.S.-run sugar mills and refineries. The U.S. State Department and Central Intelligence is not too happy about this development, and apparently has been working on a way to remove Castro from power. We are learning now that the CIA has been training Cuban troops to launch an invasion against Castro's army. We have Dan Kirk there right now. What do you see happening there, Dan?
Thanks, Amy. As you can see behind me, the CIA-trained Cuban troops are ready to go. Many were forced to flee their homes when Fidel Castro came to power and don't want to see their government run by this new tyrant. Here we have someone from the CIA who's been training those troops for some time and is waiting to see how this invasion plays out. Hello, Mr. Zuck. Could you please tell us how long you've been training these troops for?
About 9 months now, I'd say.
And how many of you are there?
1,400 strong.
Do you think Castro will have a more sizable force than 1,400?
Well, the plan is to have the element of surprise. We're having paratroopers drop in to disrupt Castro's transports. Then, a smaller force is landing at Cuba's east coast to create confusion. And then, lastly, we'll have a main advance across the island to set up our defense positions.
Thank you, sir. Back to you, Amy. As you can see behind me, some paratroopers are finally starting to land.
Thanks, Dan. What a fascinating story from the United States perspective. Now, we have an exclusive interview taking place with some men from the opposite side. One of Castro's soldiers has agreed to speak with one of our reporters. This is footage you will not be able to catch anywhere else. Right after this.
Any place, any time is a good time for Coke.
Only Coca-Cola gives you that refreshing new feeling. Refreshing new feeling. Refreshing new feeling. Coca-Cola's bright and lively. Coca-Cola has more zest. Coke is a lot more zing living. Refreshing zest. Only Coca-Cola gives you that refreshing new feeling.
That's some good Coke.
Refreshing zest.
And we're back. Things have really been heating up in Cuba. Let's take a dive into the world of one of Castro's soldiers. Brian Green is with Castro's troops now.
As you can see, we are now en route to a location just outside of Castro's soldiers' camp. This is a very risky area to be in, and we are extremely lucky the soldier has agreed to speak with us. So what were you saying about those airstrikes?
Sí, hemos sabido acerca de estos ataques durante muchas semanas ahora.
Pues, ¿qué pasó con los ataques?
Bueno, digamos que usando viejos aviones americanos de la Segunda Guerra Mundial los pintamos de diferente color y no era exactamente engañar a los americanos. Y también sabemos el plan de tres frente, por eso les hemos emboscado con 20,000 tropas.
Well, there you have it, folks. Castro knew the U.S. was coming all along. Those 1,400 CIA-trained Cuban soldiers stood no chance against Castro's 20,000 troops. This is what President Kennedy had to say regarding the information leaks from the press.
This nation's foes have openly boasted of acquiring through our newspapers information they would otherwise hire agents to acquire through theft, bribery, or espionage. That details of this nation's covert preparations to counter the enemy's covert operations have been available to every newspaper reader, friend and foe alike. The newspapers which printed these stories were loyal, patriotic, responsible, and well-meaning. They recognized only the tests of journalism and not the tests of national security. And my question tonight is whether additional tests should not now be adopted. No governmental plan should impose its restraints against your will. But I would be failing in my duty to the nation if I did not commend this problem to your attention.
And to think our own press was to blame for this botched invasion. Hopefully the press will take the president's words to heart and surely think before they expose their own country next time. Well, with that, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Good afternoon, and goodbye.